going to a rally with the same people at the same place.
In your little echo chamber.
Yeah, it's an echo chamber. You're not actually doing anything. You're not codifying the law, and you are allowed. And again, you're not attracting more people to the party. You are not going to be. What are you looking for?
My BWF.
Oh,
we're bringing it up again.
Oh, okay. I'll find it.
Okay.
So unfortunately, this is a huge, huge sticking point, and so ultimately, we're never going to get where we need to go until we recognize that when somebody says, for example, we mentioned before, Ted Lieu or Adam Schiff, any of these guys, if what they are saying is you just got to vote for more Democrats in November. No, actually, Roe v. Wade is being taken away right now, 6 months ahead of the election.
With all three branches basically that could control the situation, controlled by Democrats that could actually make this happen so that we don't have to worry about it.
Does anybody want to talk about the fact that the president of the United States is anti-choice? You know, the amazing thing, and this is the irony of it all, Trump is pro-choice.
Well, he's had to be.
Well, and everyone knows that he is. Now, of course, Mike Pence isn't. But the fact that Joe Biden is anti-choice and everyone knows that he is, and they're not willing to even push him slightly on it. Not even say, you know, Joe, for the good of the country, you need to do the right thing right now. No, Joe is, of course, and he's a horrible Catholic, but he is a Catholic. And for them, this is a really important issue, but they don't actually believe in the separation of churches.
And they don't actually care about the life once it's born.
So when we have people that come on our podcast, like Bill, and we appreciate him being here, again, correct, the separation of church and state, as it says in the Constitution, is that a state shall make no religion a sole religion, that you have to adhere to one specific belief. But you know what else that is an interpretation of? It means that your religion cannot be bestowed upon me to follow. Just because you believe that abortion is a sin doesn't mean it is for somebody else. And the law of the land says that a woman has a right to control her body.
Not for long. Not for long. And make no mistake, people, if Joe Biden wanted to codify that and have it be safe, he could absolutely have that happen. It's like people know how that could happen. So you don't get to say that and he doesn't, but even like people like our Congresswoman who are out there marching in the streets for this, but would she vote to get rid of the filibuster? Would she support the whole idea of, creating a codification for this? Is she pushing for that? Of course not. So they're so full of crap. And let me be very clear. I am beyond a pro-choice individual. So if you weren't on before, what I have on the screen, it's bwefund.org. And that's Broward Women's Emergency Fund. I'm one of their sustainers. It's something that's important to me. I just, I don't always bring it up because it's just not usually like front and center, but this is an organization here in Broward locally that makes sure that any woman in Broward who would like to have abortion services and can't afford to do so will have the funds to do so. It is local. All the money goes to helping people. There's no administration. And it's as local as I feel like I can help the people right around me as best I can. Yeah. So and for anybody if you have a similar type thing, look for that in your area, because it's just, try to keep it local, people, where you really know, where the money's going. I happen to know the women who run BWEF, and it is a completely cool, legit. They are all about like community and helping. So anyway, that's what that is, guys. You could be monthly donors, which is what I do. But right now, I think it's just, if you want to, instead of standing out in your echo chamber and protesting with a sign and having cars honk at you, throw some money if you can, or spread the word and donate to this organization for women.
Any of those groups that were out there yesterday, whether it is obviously led by Debbie, the Women's Club of West Broward.
Yeah, they're all in that. They're loving it.
If you're out there and you're saying that we have to protect Roe v. Wade, you know what you need to do? You need to tell the president of the United States that he has to codify Roe v. Wade. And if you don't do that, then you are not serious about this issue, because your position in politics is more important. You are not willing to piss off people in power, because ultimately The Democrats are loving this. They think this is going to help them in the midterms, but I got news for you. It isn't. Because if they don't do anything right now in the next probably 6 to 8 weeks, they might even lose worse. Kyle Kulinski was saying today that this is going to help the Democrats in the midterms. No one's going to believe you, because right here, right now, I've seen enough of it on social media. When Ted Lieu and the rest of them are telling them, well, we don't have the votes, or Sean Patrick Maloney, head of the DCCC, congressional representative in New York, who's actually in a competitive district. It's only a +1D. That's a district that could go to the GOP, or it could be flipped in a
Here's hoping if he's such a douche.
You know what? I can't even.
Like, you're just beside yourself. Like,
his tweet was so bad, where he basically said, this is all the Republicans' fault.
Right.
Everything is on the GOP. We didn't do anything wrong. We are totally innocent in all of this. So you better vote for us in November, because that's the answer. That's how you solve this problem.
And yet Biden was flat out asked on camera if he would push for ending the filibuster, which is what you would have to do in order to put through legislation that would codify Roe v. Wade and make it so that the Supreme Court, like, this is a chess game. And right now the court is obviously going to go in one direction. And so if the Democrats really, really cared about this issue, they would use their power at their disposal, like, to fight so that they don't lose their queen. Like, that's basically where we are. And he flat out said that he would not support ending the filibuster. He's not going to push for that right now. Okay, Joe, why don't you wait until, I don't know. I don't want to push for that right now. Oh my God. And Democrats are just going to support this?
And
please,
when you have the worst of the worst on Capitol Hill, Paul Begala, David Corn,
Begala's been one of our bootlickers.
Yeah.
We haven't done a good bootlicker in a while.
Yeah, we kind of, in a way we probably should have for this show. We didn't even think about it. But
there are two. I couldn't even narrow it down.
But at this point, who's going to say what they're going to say. And so when they come out and say, if you didn't vote for Hillary in the election, it's all on you. You are the one who didn't do anything. And all I could think of is they were trying to get Ruth Bader Ginsburg to retire back in 2013.
Yeah.
2013.
I remember thinking to myself, this would be a good time. We talked about it. I know that it was definitely something that if I'm thinking about it, it was on their responsibility to think about it too.
You have people on social media who are pointing that out and then getting basically called out for their hypocrisy, because as it turns out, some of those people said it was sexist to ask Ruth Bader Ginsburg to step down when she was sick. So there's that one.
Well, and
that's number one.
And the thing is, and let me be very clear, I was a fan. Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote the Virginia, the VMI decision, which is actually a brilliantly written decision, I must say. And that's the decision that basically allowed women into the military institute, into VMI. Where they otherwise weren't. But so my point is, right, Virginia Military Institute. So point is, I'm a fan. And yet I see that as that was a very flawed thing to do and should have been foreseen. That's what I think, by people that are smarter than me.
If Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in office like Antonin Scalia did at the beginning of 2016, what do you think would have happened if he was in control of the Senate? Do you think that they would have forced through a conservative justice? Or do you think they would have kicked the can down the road, as Obama and Schumer did? That could have mitigated a problem. And maybe Merrick Garland would have been agreeable to not having Roe v. Wade overturned. And it would be a 5-4 decision in the Democrats' favor, or in the liberal court's favor.
But I don't remember. Do you remember Obama fighting for that?
No, he allowed McConnell to.
He got slapped.
He did. And you don't want to hear that if you're a Democrat. Oh my God, you can't say that about Obama. He had so much this, that, and the other thing. No, if you are in the position, you see, this is the other thing that presidents don't understand, or people don't understand about the presidents of the United States. You are a martyr, whether you want to be or not. You want the highest office in the land, you have to be willing to die for what you believe in. It is the only way people advance. The last president we had that was willing to do it was murdered in office.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.